Hi, this is the second video in the series Keyboard Harmony. In the first video, I showed you how you could harmonise the tune Twinkle Twinkle Little Star using the three primary triads C major, F major and G major in the key of C major. In this video, I'm going to talk about the use of the dominant seventh chord. What do we mean by a seventh chord? Well, we can take any triad, three-note chord, and add a note which is 7 letter names above its root, and we get a seventh chord. You can do that on every triad in C major. You get a series of diatonic seventh chords. And I did a video about diatonic seventh chords. I've put the link in the description below. We're going to look at just one of these seventh chords, and it's called the dominant seventh. What does the dominant mean? Well, every note of a scale, or we refer to them as every degree of a scale, has a technical name. In the key of C major, the first note is called the tonic. Now, every note has a technical name, but we're just going to look at two technical names, the tonic and the dominant, which is the fifth degree or fifth note of the scale. And a dominant seventh is when you take the triad formed on the fifth degree, in the key of C, that's a G major triad, and you add a note which is 7 letter names above the root. Remember, all the notes of the chord must come from the C major scale because we're in the key of C major. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The seventh is F. Now play it down here, you get a better feel for the sound of it. You can hear that that note has a kind of tension. It feels like it wants to go somewhere, and where it usually goes to is the tonic. I'll put the root note down in the bass as well. It's got a very strong feeling of pulling towards the tonic chord. The reason for that is that it contains what we call an unstable interval. That's between the third and the seventh. If you play just those two notes, you feel this strong dissonance which has a feeling of wanting to resolve. Now, I mentioned in the first video at the end that we could actually use the dominant seventh chord to harmonise the note F in the tune Twinkle Twinkle Little Star when we're playing it in the key of C major. Now, there's just one little caveat with that, and that is that as long as the next chord is going to be chord 1. By the way, all these little rules, guidelines, there are so many exceptions to them. The dominant seventh and the dominant triad can go to other chords, but for the time being, we're keeping it nice and simple and saying that if you're on the dominant triad or dominant seventh chord, the next chord is going to be 1. So let's just recap on what we did in Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. We did chord 1, 4, back to 1, and then we did 4, 1, 5, 1. So the F, just here, we harmonised with an F chord, going to chord 1, a C chord, and that worked, that's fine. But now we've got this dominant seventh, and the next chord is chord 1, we can actually use that instead. I'll just play the 2 again. This is using chord 4. And now I'm going to use the dominant seventh. Now I think the dominant seventh just wins there. It's got that nice feeling of wanting to go to the tonic. Whenever you see the fourth degree of a scale or the fourth note of a scale in a melody going down to the third degree in the scale, so in this case in C major that's F, going down a step to E, you can usually harmonize it with 5/7 going to 1. And there are lots of little stock progressions or cliches in harmony that you begin to recognize as you apply this to other tunes. You start to see that fourth note going down a step to the third, and you kind of intuitively and instinctively then just think, oh, I know, 5/7/1. Hope you found that useful. If you did, can you give it a thumbs up and subscribe? And in the next video, I'm going to be continuing this series, introducing secondary triads. Thank you.